Over the past few episodes, we've been preparing for steam power, and in the last episode, we finally built the Ember Express, a lava train that transports lava all the way from the lava factory in the nether to our depots in the overworld, where we've been storing lava, getting ready to build our first steam power plant. And in this episode, we're going to build that steam power station, but not using the blaze cakes. Instead, we're going to be using the lava reserves in the mesa, and we're going to build our first power plant right here in preparation for some future projects. But you'll see, before we can do any building in this area, there's a lot of preparation that needs to happen. We need to gather some materials, and we need to build a platform for the power station. And if we learned anything by now, it is that building platforms is way easier with a schematic cannon. So I have prepared a little platform in creative, and I think I'm just going to plonk down the schematic, get the material list, and we take it from there. So I've placed the schematic, and now we can see where it's going to be. So this is the area where the schematic is going to be placed, and all we have to do now is gather all the resources. So if we head down to the schematic cannon and we pop this blueprint in there, we get our material list, and we know exactly what we need to get started here. So with that, we're going to head back to the main base. We're going to go gather up some resources, do a little mining expedition, and then we can build the base. So back at base, and in this backpack in front of me on the floor, we've gathered all the materials needed to create the platform. So all of that's enough to create the platform, to cover up some of the gaps in the terrain, and we're ready for that part. But I want to take this time and go gather up some more items that we'll need for the bigger project, for the power station. So let's quickly grab a few more additional resources. Yoink, 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 yoink. So with all our resources gathered, we're ready to build the platform and maybe even start the build. But I think we need to hitch a ride on this train behind us. So let's go. And the train dropped us here at the platform in the mesa, and now we're ready to start building the platform. So I've emptied all the materials into this chest, and I checked the checklist again, and we've got all the blocks we need. So all we have to do now is push go, and the schematic cannon will place all the blocks for us. So let's quickly do a little schematic cannon montage. And just like that, we've got a platform built for the new power station. The idea for this power station is that it will feed not only the existing factories, but also all the new factories we've got planned for this area in the future. And I've got quite a few planned, and not to spoil any, but a glass factory might be one of them. But anyway, first back to the power station. So my general idea is to have a little building over here that goes up and has like a little lean-to roof, and that will feed into the main power station over there. And I know, before you go down to the comments shouting at me that blaze cake is more efficient, I do know this, but this factory is not going to use blaze cake. So instead, we're going to take the lava from that tank, put it into buckets and into a system that will automatically be fed into the power station, where blaze burners will be given those lava buckets, and the empty buckets will return back into the system to get refilled again. So this will be basically the bucket area where we fill the buckets, and the area over there will be the power station. So I'm going to add a few blocks here just to see where everything needs to go, and I'll bring you guys back. So I thought about it all, and I think I know exactly what needs to happen. So right in line with this tank over here, we're going to have belts coming out, but also this belt needs to go that way over there, so that now we've got spouts on this area over here, and those spouts will have a pipe going into them, and they will be filling the buckets, and these will just extend, and this one will be extended one more, and a temporary little block, and over here we'll have a drawer. So in the drawer will go empty buckets, they will get dispatched to the back, and over here we need to make sure that they go onto both tracks. So for that, we're going to use 2 brass funnels, and we'll just make sure it is set to distribute method split, which is imperfect. So they'll split off, and from here they'll go over into this area, get filled up, and then I think we're just going to do another little bucket right over here, or another little collecting system, maybe say something like this, and it will just do another drawer over here that picks it up, and this drawer will send it over to the factory. So I finished a little contraption, I made it look a bit neater, I also gave it power, and this is all running and everything on this side's working. On this side we just need to add another cog, and that will start spinning and pumping lava from the tanks into this area. So first of all, let's just chuck some buckets in. We can see they end up over there, and if we add a cog over here, lava gets pumped, buckets get filled, and we'll slowly start filling up this chest. I do think the next thing I need to do is just maybe put a bunch of buckets in here so we can just get a supply going on this side, and then when we're done with that, we can maybe look into building this little building over here before we head towards the bigger power station. So I've decided to hold off on building this building over here, and instead I prepared the area up here. So my general idea is that I want something like maybe a pile of coal in this area with some smokestacks with smoke coming out of it. But then when you enter this building, I wanted to have like a little platform, and then you have like a little railing, and then this pit over here that I prepared. And in this pit, I wanted to fill it with water. I think it's going to be a single layer. And the idea is to make the steam engines go down into this pit a bit. And then what happens is we've got lava buckets coming down, going down over here, getting sent down the line and distributed to the different burners. And on the other side, we have a line going back, and that takes the empty buckets all the way back to the storage or to the filling area. So that is the general idea. And I think before we can do that, I should maybe just add just a couple of belts, and then I'll bring you guys back. So we got all the belt work in, and let's jump down and I'll show you how it all works. So what's going to happen is the lava buckets are going to come over there, and they're going to follow down with this chute, and then they'll move over across and make their way all the way to the end. But as they do that, they'll slowly fill up these barrels, and we'll have like a little surplus in each of those, and one bucket will get dispatched onto each of the depots. Then over here somewhere we'll have a mechanical arm that will grab a bucket, give it to a blaze, and then it will deposit the empty bucket into this chute over here, or this funnel over here, and from here everything will go back over this way, where it will go into a drawer, and from this drawer it will get sent back all the way over there, and it will get refilled again. So that's just the idea of it, and I think it will work. And well, the only way we'll ever know is if we get it done and we fill it in with water and all of that. So let me grab a few more resources and we'll build the next part. So idea is that we will have one gap between this funnel over here, and then we'll have the tank over there, and the funnel is in the back of each of these tanks. So we can come out 3 like this, and we're just going to do that for now, and we'll make them a bit bigger once we get to the final stages. Then underneath these tanks we're going to have our blaze burners, so it's 9 in total. And then we're going to need some pipes to put water into these tanks, and we're just going to do that like this. And then underneath these pipes we're just going to have our pumps, and these will just ensure we have water pumping into the tanks, and they will do so by taking water from the base here, which will be an infinite source, and just pumping it directly into the tanks. We also don't need 2 of these pipes going up. I'm just doing 2 because I think it will look neat for symmetry and stuff like that. Then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add like a little girder in the center of each of these pumps, and this is just going to be where we're going to put our mechanical arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell the mechanical arm to take from this to put into these, but also to put into that, and then we can place the mechanical arm down. Now how this is going to work is we can power one of these and all 3 of these should run. Now we can just repeat this 2 more times. It's also very important to make sure that you set the filter on these funnels to an empty bucket, otherwise it might just pop the bucket of lava in there. And now for the next step, we can just build these up a bit. So let's say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's looking good. There we go. And now we've got those in there as well. So I think the first thing we need to do is maybe power all the items down there. So I think we're going to tap into the water wheel system down there for now, just to get it kick-started, and then we'll turn this into a self-sustaining system. So I routed power in from below up vertically into this mechanical arm, and that will now take the items from the depot, give it to the burners, and then put it into this chute over here, this funnel over here. And everything should be working. If we were to add a little shaft right over here, everything's turning and nothing's overstressed. Yes, we've got rotation on the mechanical arms. We've got the belts moving, as you guys saw earlier. And now everything's ready. The only thing that needs to go is this right here. We don't want items to fly out there. And this part is actually done. So now we can hook up these 2 parts, And then we can actually turn this machine on and add some steam engine. Let's quickly put some belts in this area. Okay, so we've got the belts in. That one's turning the right way already. That will deposit the empty buckets. This one I have not connected because I want to catch it on camera. So if we extend this belt, it should take lava buckets from this draw unit and start the whole process. I am, however, terrified that they might fall off here. So I think we should maybe just add some facades, copycat facades. So let's do a copycat panel there and there. And then we might just make that a detail that runs all the way down. But okay, let's do this. Let's add this right over there. There goes the lava. It's going into machine and the hands are picking them up. Okay, so it's working. We've got blaze burners starting to go. And again, I know it's not the most efficient because it's not blaze cakes, but we've got some of the stuff going already. Now the next step is to just flood the floor and then add the engines. So now we've got water in and we've got it pumping into the tank. So if I'm not mistaken, all I have to do now is actually just plonk these on here. That converts it into a boiler, and it's a level 9 boiler. I think that's the biggest they can go. And let's just do the top row. So now we've got the steam engine unit on there. And if we were to look at this, right click there, we have ourselves a steam engine. I do notice that some of these are pointing the wrong direction. I wonder if we can just do this. And now they're all facing the same direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bunch more of these, a bunch more shafts, and then I'll bring you guys back once we have it all set up and we can see how much we're producing. And we've got the steam engines going, and I'm not sure about the design yet. And what I mean by that is I am not sure if I'm going to keep them all as one and have them feed into the grid all together, or am I going to use them as 3 individual power supplies. So what I mean by that is, for example, this one will feed off into that direction and power farms in that area, this one in another direction, and that one in another direction. So that is something I will consider. For now, I'm just going to leave it as is. And just to show you guys how effective this is, it's producing a total of 442,000 stretch units. That's insane. That is a lot of power. And even though this is looking pretty impressive with all the tanks and the moving parts, I can't leave it like this. No, no, no. So instead, it's time for you all to strap in as we get ready for another build montage. So sit back and enjoy as we get this power station built. So every time I finish a build, I say the same thing. It is my favorite build. But I have to admit, I think this one is really my favorite build. I mean, just look at this. I think it looks so cool. Let's take a little walk through. So if we come up here, we've got this little building on the left-hand side. That's just the lava bucket filling station that you've all seen. We got like a little catwalk that goes up, so you can go up there. Let's take that. Let's take that. And you come up out over here, and you're right here greeted with these 2 big windows that look into this very big room. And we've got this little canopy over here, this little lean-to roof over here. And over here we've got a little catwalk running around here, and we can actually stand here and we can see the machine run and everything. Like I mentioned, I have not decided what I'm going to do with the power or how I'm going to take it out of the building, but it looks cool. And if we go up here, we have a little loft area, which is also for now just empty and nothing happening. And if we go out here, we've got the 3 smokestacks. And let's just have a fly around the back. I mean, just look at this build. I brought in the white brick again because I really do like that color. And I just think it all works so well together. I don't know. I think this is by far my favorite build. And just to show you all what it looks like with shaders, I mean, just when you think it can't get any better, this is such a cool looking build. Even from here, just walking up to it, yeah, it's fantastic. The smokestacks, the roofs, the steel, everything. Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. But enough over here. It's time we head back to the main base because we've got one little thing to do over there and I'm kind of running out of time. So I'm going to grab everything we need and we're going to head to the main base and I'll see you guys there. Back here at main base, and it's that time again. The time where we say thank you to everybody that's part of the community. Those people that comment on the videos, give suggestions, and just hang out and have fun with us. But anyway, we're in this tunnel and we kind of reached the end of the tunnel because we can't go anymore that way because we've got actual water wheels behind us. So I thought we'll start heading that way, and once we reach the end of this tunnel, we can expand that way. So over here, the very first person is Wallobot, My Usual Antics, Obi-Wan, and Crunchy. To the 4 of you and all the other people that comment, like, and just interact on the videos, I appreciate every single one of you. If you want your name in the tunnel, just remember, continue commenting and hopefully soon it will make its way here. But that will be it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and let me know down in the comments, what do you think of this addition to the Mesa? What do you think of the power station? Do you like it or not? Let me know down in the comments what's your favorite part about it. And then remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.